welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel, #MovieBabe. I am MovieBabe, and in this video, I'm going to be recapping and reviewing episodes 9 and 10, the mid-season finale of All the Queen's Men. But before we get to it, please be sure you hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for all the content that I drop. I just dropped my opinion over PValley season 2 finale. I was not impressed. So go ahead and when you're done with this video and like it, go see my PValley video. Now for All the Queen's Men, up until episodes 9 and 10, I have been pretty pleased with this show. If you've watched my recaps, I'm pretty sure you agree. However, episode 9 and 10 had the worst acting and the worst writing and the worst direction, the worst everything out of both seasons. So let's go ahead and get to it. So episode 9, going storyline by storyline, Amp. We find out that Amp did not take the money, and in fact that it was a settlement out of court with the 18-wheeler company that he ran into on purpose. Yeah, okay. And we find out that he never spent the money because he wanted to give it to Patrice for killing her daughter. So like I stated, like in that scene, we found out that Amp did intentionally kill his ex-girlfriend, and that money came from a lawyer, which I'm pretty sure had something to do with Madam, because even with the best lawyer in the world, you winning that case is ridiculous. So I'm pretty sure all of that was a front, and Madam gave him that money, which is why when she counted it and looked at the serial numbers, she remembered like, oh, this is probably some old money that I gave him, right? So after all that in the room, they were just talking, going back and forth for a very long time. It was really annoying. Dime decides that she wants to... Oh, well, Amp leaves. Dime comes over to apologize. Like, for what, bitch? He killed his ex-girlfriend, dummy. He killed his ex-girlfriend, dummy. Why are you really trying to apologize and be with him? Like, are you dumb? Are you dumb? Even if you apologize for, like, accusing him or what have you for having that money, I'm not going to want to be with you because you're a fucking psychopath. Then El Fuego comes over later that day to be study buddies, like since when? And hard skip. I skipped that scene. It was way too long. Amp decides to go back to the club to see Madam and to get his money. Him and Blue are talking. I skipped that shit as well because they were talking for way too long. Blue eventually calls and asks Madam to give Amp the money herself personally instead of having Blue do it. And Madam refuses to do so. So after work, Doc is on his way home and Teresa is waiting for him at the door. You know, just being regular Teresa, crazy ass bitch. And the same girl from the club that was eyeing him that I thought was like a setup, she comes over and he basically tells Teresa, you need to go home. And the girl from the club goes inside inside his house or whatever. So this scene was so funny that the only thing I want to mention is how he's smashing old girl from the club with his pants on. Like full pants on. Like full pants on. It ain't unzipped. It ain't around his butt. It ain't around his knees. Full pants on. Like what the hell? Afterwards, Doc tries to put the girl out from the club. Well, you know, the next morning. And she starts texting. And he's like, who you texting? Like he starts tripping out on her or whatever. And he's like suspecting like it's a setup. And then he was right. So he pulls out the gun, and when her goons come in from around the corner, he pulls it out on them or whatever, and he lets them skate free. I would have killed all them motherfuckers. Like, bitch, you ain't about to set me up and get a chance to come back and retaliate. You got me about messed up. So let's talk about Babyface. Babyface comes home to an empty house because we found out that his sugar mama is suing him for all the money that she spent on him. I just want to let you know. I know she's a lawyer, but I don't think you have a case, ma'am. I don't think you can sue people for them finessing you. Like I don't think, is that a thing? Y'all let me know. So Midnight is getting fellatio after he gets off of work, and Babyface's sugar mama decides to come over to Midnight's house, and she offers him $1,000 to sleep with her, but he turns it down because, you know, that's against code or whatever. This lady is so thirsty, and like she's a pretty woman, you know. I mean, I guess like by American standards, she probably wouldn't be considered desirable, but I think she looks beautiful. Like you don't need to be paying these men to have sex with you, lady, and you're a lawyer, girl. Girl. Okay, I'm just saying. Anyhow, Doc comes over after Babyface Sugar Mama leaves. Doc comes over to talk about Tina and how Tina has been haunting him to Midnight. And, Midnight just basically said, like, you're going to have to confront that ghost for it to leave you alone. Aside from that, the Chinaman, excuse my derogatory term, comes over and puts the leeches on Midnight's peen. But actually, I don't think he even did the leeches thing. Like, he made him bend over, and I think he went through, like, his prostate or whatever. But Midnight got his penis situation handled. And then finally, let's get to Madam and her storyline for this episode. So Madam comes home and finds that Tommy had left Roman, the Roman who owes her money, left him in a cage in her bedroom. So Madam is like so OD extra. Like, she goes swimming with Roman in the cage underneath the water. She pulls him out, and then she basically says that the prices went up from what he owed her. I think it was like $100,000 or something like that. So she upped it to $500,000. And Roman decides that he's going to try to bargain with Madam. He offers up his girlfriend, her sister, Carla, and lets her know that Carla has been planning to burn down your club and put a hit on you. And Madam is like, baby, you ain't telling me nothing I don't already know. Like, come harder, okay? So, in that same day, Rayshawn calls Madam for help because Rayshawn is still tied up in Tandy's in her husband's basement. And I was really, really sad at this point because Madam was kind of like dismissing Rayshawn. And I was like, please, 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 like, just listen to him. Like, hear him out because Rayshawn is really in a bind. Y'all know from last episode, I really did not like what they did to Rayshawn. I don't like things like that. So I am happy that Madam decided that she was going to go over and check on him to see what was going on. But in the meantime, Madam goes to the hospital to see the redneck. Finds out that he was lying about her nephew and pushes him out of a window. How discreet was that? Now, episode 9 wasn't that bad, but episode 10 was so cringe, y'all. It was so cringe. So please excuse the very, very, very edited review of episode 10 because it was a lot of talking, bad acting, unlogical ass scenes where let me just get into it. Episode 10. All right, so Madam does indeed go over to help Rayshawn get out of that bind with Tandy. Now, when Madam walks in the house or whatever, she sees Tandy, and Tandy is in the same outfit from 3 episodes ago. This is when All the Queen's Men gets really Tyler Perry-ish. You can tell he's an EP on this show because of this type of shit right here. Anyhow, she tells Tandy to take her to where Rayshawn is. They find Rayshawn tied up, stanking. I guess, I don't know what the hell that went down in there, but he's stanking. And Madam tells Tandy to let Rayshawn shower and then deliver him back to the club. First off, if I was Rayshawn, because he wasn't there with the deliver him back to the club part. If I was Rayshawn and I get out the shower and Madam is gone and it's just Tandy, I would be scared. Like, how are you going to leave this victim with his abuser? How insensitive is that? How insensitive is that? And I guess Tandy knows that Madam is crazy, so she eventually does complete the deed. But at the same time, like, what if she didn't? Like, that wasn't smart to me. So like I stated, Tandy does drop Rayshawn back off at the club. And when he gets there, he decides to tell, what's that boy name? Tommy, that, he's not going to be able to work today. He wants to go to the hospital because he's not feeling well. And I'm really thinking like Rayshawn is something wrong with that boy. But he also runs into trouble and lets her know that you low-key were right. Shit got weird and I'm going to take off for a couple days or whatever. So Rayshawn goes to the hospital. Now, Carla. We get to see Carla and the concierge. How Carla knows who the concierge is? Who knows? Bad writing. Because where the fuck that come from? But Carla tries to collab with the concierge and lets him know that he doesn't need Madam. Carla is really who she needs. She tries to offer him sexual favors, but the concierge plays it cool or whatever. And he doesn't bite that line, basically. Oh, and of course, the concierge had to clean up Madam's mess again because she just pushing people through the hospital, like hospital windows. Like, girl, how you gonna sign in to see a man, and then that same man end up on the ground of the parking lot? It's not smart, Madam. It's not giving smart. Anyhow, later on in the episode, when Madam is in her closet, she's getting dressed. She has Roman in his cage in her closet. Now, I know, y'all know, even people who don't analyze movies or TV shows can tell that this scene was like, what the fuck? So while Madam was getting dressed, Roman decides to attack Madam. He puts his hand through the cage, grabs her leg. She falls on the ground. Okay, that's believable. So they're like kicking and struggling, but out of nowhere, Roman gets out of the cage. What the fuck? Now, in that scene, it did show Madam dropped her purse, but it never showed any keys. Now, it's little things like that, like directorials, like, yo, have the purse fall, the keys land by Roman. We see Roman grab those keys, then you can hear the little clink, clink sound. Like, he just can't get out of this cage that he's been in for 2-3 days magically. It was a fucking stupid scene. It was directed horribly. It was mad unbelievable. So anyhow, Roman gets out of the cage. Madam runs away. He dives on her. He starts choking her out. And then she gone girls him. Yeah, Tyler Perry. She gone girls him. Reaches under the pillow, pulls out a knife, and slits his throat with all this horrible ketchup. Like, I'm like, bro, we couldn't even get the corn syrup from Carrie. Y'all can't afford good fake blood at the Tyler Perry Studios. That's why I'm talking about that cheap shit. This is why I don't like Tyler Perry, because he be pulling that cheap shit, yo. Oh, my good God. Let's talk about Amp, unfortunately, for this episode. He's waiting to get his money. He tells the guys in the club that he quits. And when Blue finally gives him the money, he runs into Madam, and Madam still won't apologize. Now, he leaves. He's mad. Whoop-de-whoop. Now, after he leaves, Blue tries to talk to Madam about the importance of family or some shit. I don't know. The scene was way too fucking long. Little things that's happening around the club. This white boy, right? He's creeping around. It's giving undercover. We also run into Doc, and Doc gets a phone call from Teresa's husband letting him know that the baby is not mine, which means it's yours. That's not necessarily what that means. We don't know who Teresa was messing with. But especially because 5 episodes ago, Doc told us that he already had the baby tested and the baby is not his. So this is what I'm talking about. Like, bad, sloppy writing. Like, did y'all forget? Like, are all the writers not corroborating or reading other people's shit and y'all just making up your own stories? Because it's not making sense. So the husband also tells Doc that Teresa is mad unstable right now, so just be on high alert of that. Speaking of, Teresa comes to the club, and they're outside of the club, and I don't know what the fuck they talking about. Like, I low-key don't even remember. It's just stupid because she starts panicking when he asks to hold the baby, and she runs into the middle of the street, and bro. And she gets mean girl hits by a bus. But this was a fake horrible CGI. Have y'all ever played Def Jam, Fight for New York? It was one of those, like, when they got hit by the train, she got hit by a bus. That shit was so stupid and so fake. I wish that they even, like, if they would have, like, foreshadowed a bus coming through, coming near the club or something, like this episode, earlier in the episode, that would at least link. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it would make sense. Like, if they had foreshadowed or previewed a bus earlier in this episode and then came back and saw her getting hit by a bus. Like, just little things like that can make an episode better. But this season finale was very underwhelming. Bro, I don't care about none of the storylines. I'm scrolling through my notes right now. Like, I legit don't care about none of these storylines anymore. Because Teresa getting hit by a bus was not a big OMG moment for us, because who the fuck cares about Teresa? She's an annoying character. I low-key don't even give a fuck about the baby. Like, I don't care if I sound like evil, but who cares? Rayshawn goes to the hospital. I don't know. Babyface is probably getting sued. Like, I just feel like they didn't really leave us for a mid-season finale. They didn't really leave us with a wondering. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. I just don't care. I watched this. Oh, I do want to, I guess, I watched this episode with a friend. He had never seen All the Queen's Men before. And I told him that I cannot stand Amp. He can't act, and his scenes are way too long. And he was like, oh, well, he's acting pretty well to me. And then I was like, you know what? Granted, in episodes 9 and 10, Amp's acting got better. It was still cringy. Like, I just don't like his character. Like, why does he get the longest scenes and they're just talking? Like, I don't like Amp. But anger is his emotion. He can act angry for sure. So I'll give Amp that. But please still write him off the show. I could care less. What did y'all think about the season finale of All the Queen's Men? Are you intrigued for the second mid-season, I don't know what the fuck they call them, finale? Why does a season need 20 episodes? It doesn't. That's just Tyler Perry. I don't know, y'all. I don't know how I'm going to continue to review it. I might watch the first couple episodes to see if it still has my attention, but I'm low-key, no promises, all right? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like this video if you enjoyed my commentary, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'll see y'all next time. It's a date.